Hey everyone, I sincerely hope that you're all doing well. It's me, Stretch Horizons again, and I figured now is as good a time as any to do my debut video essay. I don't have any flashy visuals or motion graphics. I'm just speaking off the cuff and from the heart. So if you can forgive the occasional or ah, and me just kind of saying what comes to mind, I think we might have a good time today, maybe even walk away learning something and feeling a little bit better about ourselves and others. That's the hope, anyway. So, I had a professor when I was going to college, and he was one of my favorite professors. He had this expression he would use all the time: dovetail, dovetail, dovetail. And I came to learn that just meant that one thing naturally connected with another, that two or more ideas or concepts or sources of information kind of overlapped or could naturally go together, like PB and J, if you will, when it comes to their nature or the way they would go about expressing certain concepts. So I figure that a good name for my series would be Dovetail, since I'm drawing connections between things that may not seem like they make a whole lot of sense, may not seem like they go together, but actually fit nicely as far as how they go about tackling this or that. And I just got done watching and reviewing Good Will Hunting, a movie about a troubled young man who, through therapy, navigates his emotional problems and rough childhood memories, and about him trying to discover and realize his full potential in life, not just as a mathematical savant, but as a person trying to find better work and trying to find love, something I feel that many young people can relate to. As a Zoomer, watching a story about an uncertain young man trying to be the best version of himself and find his way in the world really spoke to me. And as it happens, both my parents, and it seems like just multiple sources of trusted information in my life, have more or less gently been hinting at the same thing at one point or another of how I've got to go out there and get things and live my life and do my best. And this is advice we've all heard at one point or another, and it's easy to dismiss it. It's easy, whether it's our parents or our professors, or if you're religious or coming out of religion, people in our religious communities who feel like they have the right to explain the world to us. And sometimes that's not always welcome. But I would say from experience that just as many times that there's value in the spirit of what's being said, especially when it comes from a place of love and sincerity. So, as I'm talking to y'all today, keeping in mind that I don't know you, and I'm also not trying to lecture you, I'm just trying to share my 2 cents about some works that really spoke to me. And I want to talk about this from the perspective of us being in this together. So, I will try to lift y'all up, and if y'all are so inclined, you can try to lift me up just by all of us being kind to each other. And kindness, that's the thing I think that gets through most to me about both of the works I'm going to talk about today. In Good Will Hunting, even though Matt Damon's character, Will, is struggling with so much in his life, he has people who are kind to him, people who see his potential and see the light in him and push him to recognize that potential, to acknowledge that light. And he is without giving any spoilers, the better for it. This grows him. And kindness, for the most part, that's the one thing that is so lacking from the characters in the other work I'm going to be talking to y'all about today. And that would be Negative Space by B.R. Yeager, a book I reviewed earlier this year, or earlier in my channel history, that I happened to pick up because a lot of reviewers that I liked were talking about it. And it follows the story of a bunch of young people um, dealing with tragedy, with the whirlwind of sex and trauma and drugs and self harm that is their unfortunate life story. And it's hard to read, but it's also valuable as a Zoomer to feel recognized, to feel, as I said in my actual review of the text, spoken to and understood, acknowledged without being lectured to. And it has a lot to say about, like Good Will Hunting, about how young people try to navigate a world. But Good Will Hunting shows us what it looks like when people navigate the world, when they have support, when they have kindness. And Negative Space shows us the disastrous results of what happens when people don't have that kindness, when they don't have that support, when they don't have those valuable human connections. And it's not just them failing themselves or the parents failing them or the world failing them. It's all of them together, and all of them need to improve. Just as in our real world, all of those areas have to improve if we ever want to get better, if we ever want to tackle the many issues that are relevant and important to us. So, my thesis statement, since I guess this is an essay, insofar as I have one, the kind of narrative point, like the reason I turned on the camera to talk to you all was, as cliche as it may be, to just encourage kindness, to be kind and supportive to yourselves and each other this holiday season. Because, as many of us know, the holidays and life in general aren't always kind at all times to everyone. So, this holiday season, spread some love, spread some cheer, as I extend to you my love and well wishes, and encourage you at your own pace, if you feel comfortable with it, to engage with these two amazing works, Negative Space by B.R. Yeager and Good Will Hunting, starring the late great Robin Williams as well as Matt Damon. So, much love, well wishes, Merry Christmas, and Happy Holidays. Bye bye, y'all.